How have the services you've provided changed, right? So, in the last 3 years, obviously you're doing this sort of post-trade surveillance, right?
Yep.
But are the services the same and you're adding more features, or are you adding sort of add-on components to your already well-known solution?
Yeah, it's a good question for us. Obviously that move to the cloud that we've all done, you and I have done from a technology standpoint, we didn't start that way. We moved that way fairly early on. Um, we've, I think it's again that kind of iteration of improvement, that steady improvement that it really is a direct result of our client community. So, before it was me and Jeff, Jeff Bell, thinking, okay, we've sat in those seats. This is what we think our clients want. So that was kind of, that Valdez 1.0 or whatever, version you want, Valdez 0.0.0. Now it's all 100% our clients, just absolutely. And we try to keep that dev loop really, really tight. And so that feedback, we talk to our clients constantly, right? We really have touch points with them as much as we can. They're giving us great feedback, really almost in real time as they interact with the marketplace, with regulators, with exchanges. And we absolutely push that back into the product. We're trying to keep at least a 2-month dev cycle for kind of major releases. But even then, we iterate very quickly through APIs as you guys do and other mechanisms. And so for us, it's been a focus of expanding functionality, expanding features, and making these complex problems as easy as possible through automation, through machine learning, as we're trying to marry, the way we think about it is marrying the tech with the human and trying to really provide the best experience for both of those. And so that's, for us, it's that continuous improvement. And, it's not like all of a sudden we're going to go into pre-trade financial risk management, right? We're not going to do that. We can expand with the data sets that we have in other areas, AML, different types of KYC, transaction cost analysis, TCA. There's other areas for us to expand, but we really, the focus is improving the experience.
Yeah, look, I mean, we get asked all the time, why don't you guys provide the TCA or post-trade surveillance? And we say, quite honestly, that's not our sweet spot. That's not what we do. We focus on the trading, the execution, and real-time risk management, and we'll leave that to the other folks who that's their core focus, right?
Right.
So, we've sort of learned that what's core to us, which is, platform execution risk, is going to stay core to us, and we're not going to get off that path, right? And I think what we've seen is similar to you, right? People want things automated, right? So we've tried to automate a lot of our processes. People want to be able to access tools from anywhere. So we've pushed out cloud-based solutions, whether it's margin or risk, and they want things in a real-time fashion. And obviously they want to see us innovate and sort of like you said, adding new features, whether it's, you were talking about crypto before, we put in a crypto widget. So it's always innovating, trying to do it. It's not easy, right? Because sometimes, even during this time, it stresses your systems with the volatility. And sometimes you're forced to step back and say, wait a second, can we do things today better? And do we need to slow down? So that's kind of one of the things that we've worked on and we've focused on.
That spike was, I think, was jarring, right? Because you get used to, again, 10 years of kind of flat volume and volatility, and then you have that, 5, 10 spike X of, volume and volatility. And we did have quite a few of our providers, kind of market data providers, struggle. So it was, I think, exactly to your point is you have to kind of make sure that you're ready for those spikes, because if you're not, the experience sucks. And so the last thing we want to do is be the source of that.
That's right. So you're kind of on this trend. Here's the market volume. Here's the market volume. And then all of a sudden it's boom. Okay, wait a second. I think it's staying here. All right. What do we need to do, and what do we need to do better? So I think that's interesting. And then I think the last question, and I think everybody gets asked this, right? What does the future look like, right? Where is Eventus Systems going down the road, right? Are there new things you're thinking about, or what does the future hold there?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think all of one of the things that we get challenged with, and what we talked about a little bit, is that market data, right? You and I both, we're big consumers of market data. I think all of that data, whether it's market data, reference data, life cycle life cycle data, finally gets put into the cloud in a more digestible way. And so you really have, you see announcements almost every day about AWS getting new data sets or new companies trying to push data into the cloud. So I think that's going to democratize the data a little bit more. So that means to us probably more competition, right? Is the data sets that we deal in can be used for different things. We're using it for post-trade trade surveillance. You guys use it for pre-trade, risk and trade routing and everything else. And so I think that's going to be an interesting aspect, but then it again goes to how good are you at solving these problems? It takes real experience and real knowledge to be able to apply or to use that data for the application that you're trying to solve. And so whether
Well,
that's trade
let's
surveillance or anything else.
yeah, let's not forget it requires a substantial amount of capital as well, right? You've
Absolutely.
got a lot of people that think they can, hey, I'll build a risk system, or I'll build a trading platform or a compliance solution, right? It's taken years upon years and dollars upon dollars to get here, and it's ever evolving to maintain it, enhance it, improve it, and it's just not as simple as people sometimes believe it to be. And I think that, look, I think that's what makes you guys successful, because you know your core, you're staying focused on it, you're expanding it with asset classes, and you're making it easier for people to get access to, right?
That's the pitch. You sold it. That's exactly right. And that's for us to be,
I'm
continue to
available.
be it.
I'm
Yeah, I
available.
love it. Here, we'll just you're hired. But no, that is the pitch. Is our addressable market continues to grow, as you see, right? I mean, there's just whether it's digital assets, whether it's FI, FX coming into the platform, whether it's other geographies adopting, more maybe U.S. based type of regulation, our addressable markets continue to grow. And so we feel like we have a lot of runway left in that space before we try to think about maybe doing something else. So that's why we partner up with guys like yourself, and so that we don't get out over our skis. We just keep getting better and better at what we're doing, and at least right now that seems to be winning via our acquisition of clients.
Yeah, look, and I think we're similar, right? I think, a couple things a little different for us, right? I think what we're seeing or talking about for the future is this sort of widget model, right? Adding these sort of add-on widgets to an already existing platform solution. If somebody wants this asset class, if somebody wants this type of scanner,
Sure.
or whatever
Sure.
those components are, so that you have this all-in-one solution, but you can componentize it. I only
Yeah.
need this, this, and this. So we're taking a hard look at that. And we're taking a hard look at, making APIs accessible to more folks, so that they can utilize, like you said, everything that we've built on the back end, and make it easy for them to access, via API. And I think, it's exciting what's ahead for both of us. Knock on wood that I think this industry during this time is doing okay. And so it allows us to continue to innovate and improve what we're doing.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, we do really, as a group, as a team, we talk about really we're about as fortunate as it comes, right? The industry has been very resilient. The fact that it really did move over to the cloud, 5, 10 years ago, to where really wasn't that huge of a deal for everyone to work from home. I mean, that transition, we've been distributed since we've started. There were a lot of companies in the space that have done the same thing. It's just I've been really pleased to see how well and how resilient these markets have been. I think it's critical.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. And look, This has been fun, and I'm sure we could continue to do this for hours and maybe even have a cigar and a cocktail and continue.
I think we've done that in the past, maybe. Yeah, I agree. That sounds lovely.
That's right. But listen, we appreciate you joining us. If you have any closing sort of thoughts, anything you want to share, feel free.
Yeah, obviously we're super excited to continue to work with Sterling. If anyone wants to know anything else about what we do, you can reach us Eventus Systems, our website.com, or you can info@eventussystems.com. Obviously, reach that, or Travis at eventussystems.com, and reach out to me directly. So, love to hear from you. We love working with Sterling. So great to be here. Thank you, Mr. Actman.
Hey, appreciate it, Travis. Have a good one. We appreciate you being at the round table.
Nice to be here. Thanks.
Thank you.